Most of you are adults and you're just learning about them, for some of you, well into adulthood. The truth teller can actually have a rather lonely childhood. They do tend to stay a bit distant from the narcissistic parent to protect themselves, and sometimes even the entire family system. They may be a child who prefers to do things on their own. This is a child that may have a very rich inner world, and so there can be a real loneliness at times. And these children are not going to be the ones who are throwing themselves into the middle of activities with the parent. As I said, narcissistic people at any age, by anyone, they don't like to be seen, and in fact may even say to the truth teller child, "I can see you judging me, you little twit." And the truth teller child may just be sitting there quietly, not saying a word, but you can see it on their face. So there's a scapegoating that happens to truth-telling kids, putting the truth teller in the role of experiencing some of the same difficult fallout as they go into in adolescence and adulthood as a scapegoated child. The difference is that the truth teller child is less likely to blame themselves for their parents' behavior, knowing damn well that the narcissistic parent is not right. So that's to their benefit. But another downside of being a truth teller is that you do see it. And that almost means that you're like that kid in the movie who can see dead people. Not a good feeling. As they go into adulthood, truth tellers, they can sort of see the narcissistic people before anyone else can. And that can actually leave you as an adult with a sort of anxious kind of, oh no, here we go again kind of thing. You may, for example, meet a friend's new partner and think, oh no. You may meet a new colleague at work, and again, that anxiety, oh no. It can wear you down, leave you cynical, but think of the bright side. You have the luxury of seeing it early and hopefully steering clear of these patterns early. In the long term, frankly, I think though the truth tellers may have the best outcomes in terms of themselves relative to most of the other family roles. The truth tellers are often straight shooters. They see it, they get it. In fact, people may find truth tellers in adulthood to be sort of really to the point and kind of don't mess around-ish. Truth tellers do not suffer fools. They can be really good at boundaries. Truth tellers tend to have good instincts. They honor those instincts. They can see an unhealthy situation and step back and not engage. The majority of adults don't get here. The truth tellers got here in childhood. Now, what trips up the truth teller, though, however, is self-doubt. Even the wisest child doesn't do great with everyone telling them that they're wrong or simply just being ignored by their family. Even the other family role types are at risk to fall into enabling roles, especially with the parents and especially the fixers and the helper child. They'll say things like, "Mom didn't mean it," or "They're just having a hard day," or "Stop being so difficult," or "They're going to get mad." So the truth teller may be carrying a legacy of being left to feel like they're the ones with the problem. Depending on other dynamics in the system and the truth teller child's temperament, that can lead to self-doubt or even social isolation in adulthood because it can feel like people cannot be trusted. The truth teller may often wonder, they may say, "My instincts tell me that this situation isn't good, but everyone else is telling me to just go along." You hear that enough, you doubt yourself. And this self-doubt can plague the truth teller, who will either internalize it and keep doubting themselves or just become really avoidant of people because people just feel too messy.
That's me.
Truth teller is the family role that is the most likely to cut away from the family situation. They are the ones who see it, perhaps even sense at an early age that none of this is ever going to change, and they get the hell out of Dodge. They may be this might be the family role that feels the least beholden to the narcissistic parent or parents. However, the truth teller can in some cases be quite fond of their siblings and may have to do that difficult calculation of whether they have to figure out whether they need to spend time with their parents in order to see their siblings. That said, the truth teller is often skilled enough to be able to skirt that line of perceiving the narcissistic parents clearly and all of their difficult behaviors. And down the line, if one of their siblings emerges to be narcissistic, the truth tellers may be quite good at spotting them too, and finding the workarounds and ways to have a relationship with the siblings or with other families they like. The truth teller can actually be quite facile at that. Listen, the truth teller is somebody who often, though, can also be viewed as a buzzkill, as a critic, as a person who's overly harsh. Some people may even label the truth teller as being judgmental or full of themselves. All of that obviously goes back to enabling. The fact is, if you really know and you understand narcissism in our world, it means that you really can't live in the warm and fuzzies anymore. And the truth teller's existence and sort of knowing means that they'll often call out those warm and fuzzies and say, you can all be warm and fuzzy, this situation's not healthy. Because of this, the truth tellers are often the ones that people may reject initially. Down the line, they may see their wisdom. But honestly, how many times can the truth teller live in that world of being perpetually rejected because they detect the painful truths that other people don't want to see? Being a truth teller requires a person to be resolute as an adult and recognize that the toxic positivity brigade and the enabling brigade and the Pollyannas are just never going to be a fan of them.
Monkeys.
It's interesting. The truth teller can sort of, over time, be kryptonite to the narcissistic person's powers. They live a sort of fundamental truth. You can survive, I really do believe, not only survive, but thrive in a narcissistic world if you are willing to see these patterns clearly. Once you can honestly see it and not maintain false hopes of change or that you will be the exception, then you can actually coexist with the narcissist without getting too burned. But you will, more often than you'd like, get exhausted and at times even feel disgusted.
Got beef.
Somehow, the truth teller has this ability to see all these patterns clearly from the very beginning. These are often introspective, smart, empathic children who grow into empathic, smart, introspective adults. Truth tellers can become amazing advocates, therapists, agents of change because they see it clearly and they don't enable it.
I got all this knowledge, so I might as well give it back.
In their fashion are the
Spirit told me to give it back, so I'm giving it back. The
world definitely needs more truth tellers, but I recognize it takes a toll on them. And if you are one of them, I really tip my hat to you.
You're gonna be by yourself.
It wasn't an easy path. Yet you are the ones who I believe are the only reason we will ever have a chance at a population level of pushing back on this trend of toxic people. So good luck to you.